Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're diving into the books coming out during the week of February 24th to March 2nd. There are well over 500 new books being released this week, so this is just a tiny fraction of the releases. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight releasing this week. Let's get into it. Famous Last Words is a new domestic thriller with shocking twists by New York Times bestselling author Gillian McAllister. On the longest day of the year, new mother Camilla's world shatters. After months of maternity leave, she is ready to return to work, but when she wakes, her husband Luke is gone, leaving behind only a cryptic note. Soon, the news breaks. A hostage situation is unfolding in London, and the police arrive at her door. But Luke isn't a victim. He's the gunman. As the world watches in shock, Camilla is faced with a terrifying truth. How well did she really know the man she married? And more importantly, what danger does she face if their entire life together has been built on a lie? The answer may lie in the note he left behind. And what she does next could change everything. Famous Last Words will be released on February 25th. From J.N. Chaney and Jonathan B. Brazee comes Android Wars, the first in a brand new series. Severely wounded in the line of duty, Aidan Thorne is given a second chance, but at a cost he never agreed to. After a devastating injury leaves most of his body destroyed, he is subjected to an experimental procedure that saves his life, but changes him forever. With no way to turn back, he must learn to adapt to his new reality. But survival takes on a new meaning when an intergalactic corporation claims ownership over Aidan and others like him, turning them into assets instead of individuals. Now, he must rely on the only skills that have ever kept him alive, fighting and surviving, because freedom won't be given. It must be taken. Android Wars drops on March 2nd. Megan Frampton's new historical romance series, Heirs and Spares, begins with The Devil's Charm. Lord Lucian Blackwood, the charming and carefree second son of the Duke of Wexford, has spent his life embracing the duties of a spare, flirting, gaming, and dazzling high society. But at his friend's wedding, he shares an unforgettable kiss with a woman who is entirely off limits, Lady Dianne Courtenay, the daughter of his father's longtime rival. Just as he prepares to move on, fate intervenes, forcing them to work together on a project meant to mend their family's bitter feud. Lady Diantha has always been the perfect society lady, never stepping out of line, until one reckless night when she gives in to temptation with Lucian Blackwood. With every stolen glance and unspoken desire, resisting him becomes a battle she may not be able to win. Check out The Devil's Charm on February 25th. USA Today best-selling cozy mystery author Dianne Harman begins the Seabrook Cozy Mystery series with The Glass Mermaid. When renowned art conservator Chloe Harper is tasked with restoring The Glass Mermaid, a mysterious stained glass masterpiece, she never expects it to pull her into the decades-old disappearance of its creator, Lydia Mariner. But when a wealthy art collector with a suspicious obsession over the piece is found dead, Chloe realizes the secrets hidden within the glass go far beyond art, and someone is willing to kill to keep them buried. With the help of her loyal best friend, Fee Delaney, enigmatic antique dealer Oliver Campbell, and the sharp-eyed detective Ethan Callahan, Chloe follows a trail of cryptic clues left by Lydia herself. From shadowy figures lurking in the redwood forests to hidden messages in Seabrook's historic boathouse, every step brings them closer to a shocking truth. But when a discovery in a hidden cove puts them directly in the path of powerful enemies. Chloe must decide, will she risk everything to expose Lydia's fate, or will history repeat itself in the most deadly way possible? Solve the mystery of the Glass Mermaid on February 27th. One of this month's most anticipated books is Crush by Ada Calhoun. When a husband asks his wife to reconsider what might be missing from their marriage, neither expects the journey that follows, one filled with passion, heartbreak, and ultimately renewal. She has built a full and content life, a child, a fulfilling career, deep friendships, and a marriage that still holds love. But when her husband challenges the constraints of traditional roles, their relationship is thrown into uncharted territory, leading them to confront their desires, fears, and the true meaning of partnership. Drawing from the author's own experiences, Crush explores the chaos and liberation that comes with chasing desire, the upheaval it causes, and the clarity that emerges when the dust settles. A sharp, funny, and deeply introspective novel, it examines the evolving nature of marriage in a post pandemic world, tackling the complexities of love, longing, and the many ways we define fulfillment. Through it all, it asks the ultimate question: can we hold on to everything we love, our families, friendships, passions, and sense of self, without losing pieces of ourselves along the way? Crush will be released on February 25th. Future's Edge is a gripping and heartfelt horror-tinged space adventure from the author of Stars and Bones, Gareth L. Powell. When archaeologist Ursula Moreau accidentally infects herself with an alien parasite, she worries it could end her career. But when Earth is obliterated and billions perish, her personal concerns become meaningless because suddenly there's no need for archaeologists anymore. 2 years later, plucked from a refugee camp on a distant world, Ursula is given a mission that could determine the fate of humanity. The artifact that infected her may hold the key to survival, but retrieving it means venturing into hostile territory. With time running out and the enemy closing in, she faces an impossible choice: commit an act of desperate piracy or risk extinction in humanity's final stand. Future's Edge will be released on February 25th. New York Times bestselling author Elle Kennedy continues her Campus Diaries series with The Charlie Method. Charlotte Kingston is balancing two identities flawlessly. By day, she's a model sorority girl and ambitious biomedical engineering student. By night, she's Charlie, a thrill seeker, chatting anonymously with two intriguing strangers on a dating app. But when she finally meets them, she's stunned to discover that they're none other than Briar U hockey players Will Larson and Beckett Dunn, two best friends with their own complicated secrets. Will, constantly under his congressman father's scrutiny, is desperate to maintain a clean reputation, while Beckett hides a deep personal heartache. As their online flirtation turns into a passionate, real life connection, their tangled web of secrets threatens to unravel. With mounting pressure from their families and futures at stake, Charlie, Will, and Beckett must decide if what started as lust could become something much more. The Charlie Method drops on February 25th. Not Quite by the Book by Julie Hatcher is the story of an overworked bookstore owner who seeks to change her life. Emma Reaney has spent her life surrounded by books, but now she's stuck in a chapter she can't seem to turn the page on. While her family embraces change, her sister preparing for motherhood, her parents jetting off in retirement, Emma remains rooted in the family bookstore, her future seemingly decided for her. Realizing she needs a break before she becomes a permanent fixture among the shelves, she embarks on a retreat inspired by her favorite poet, Emily Dickinson. A season of solitude in a crumbling 19th century manor outside Amherst. But life as a recluse isn't as peaceful as she imagined. Between a garden overrun with mischievous bunnies, a grumpy yet irresistible architect renovating the estate, and the mysterious floral messages arriving at her doorstep, Emma finds herself anything but alone. As the world keeps pulling her back in, she begins to question what she truly wants: her family's legacy, a love she never expected, or the courage to write her own story. Not Quite by the Book will be released on March 1st. Best-selling author Mike Kraus's new post-apocalyptic thriller series, Foliant, begins with The Quiet After. A devastating nerve agent attack wipes out tens of millions in a matter of hours, but the nightmare is far from over. In Los Angeles, the O'Brien family, caught in the chaos while on vacation, barely escapes with their lives. Now trapped in a city transformed into a death trap, their only hope is an impossible journey north through a collapsing society to reach their loved ones in Oregon. Meanwhile, at the Tillis family vineyard in Oregon, the initial attacks leave them untouched, but survival is far from guaranteed. As the country unravels, resources dwindle, and the desperate survivors become as dangerous as the unseen enemy, they must navigate a world where the rules have changed overnight. For those leading the response, the attacks are mutating too fast to contain, and the nation's downfall may already be sealed. Because this wasn't just an act of war. It was only the beginning. The Quiet After begins on February 28th. Finally, we have Close Your Eyes and Count to 10, a thriller of deadly games on a remote island by best-selling author Lisa Unger. When the real game begins, who will make it to the count of 10? Charismatic daredevil and social media sensation Maverick Dillon invites thrill seekers to the ultimate game of hide and seek on the remote and mysterious Falcoa Island. But what begins as an adrenaline-fueled stunt quickly turns into a waking nightmare. A raging storm cuts the players off from the outside world, and one by one they realize they aren't just being hunted for sport, but for something far worse. Enter Adele, a single mother with everything to lose, determined to make it back to her children. She must navigate the treacherous island, outwit ruthless competitors, and uncover the dark secrets behind the game before time runs out. As the line between reality and illusion blurs, trust is a deadly gamble, and on Falcoa Island, the only rule that matters is survival. Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 will be released on February 25th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading lists, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.